What's up? I know I've kind of been gone for a while, but we're back at it. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and a good New Year and all that fun stuff. Hopefully you got to see the family and the friends and all that. I've already done a load since I've been back. I went from obviously the plant there in Kansas up to Iowa. Delivered 2 boats, one in Clear Lake and the other one over in Iowa City. Then I went back down. And as you see from the title, we had some more problems. This one's a little concerning, to be honest, actually. I needed a PM, so you know, I like doing mine on my 10-hour break because they usually take some time. I stopped at, excuse me, I just got done eating. I stopped at the TA, exit 155 off of I-35 in Kansas, where I-35 and 75 come together. I stopped there because I'm only about 75 miles or so from the boat manufacturing plant. Stopped there, called ahead, and I've been driving like late afternoons, early mornings lately. But so I didn't get down to that TA till about 11:30 or so Central Time, which was no big deal because it's almost better because mostly everybody else is already sleeping and done for the day. So there was no one in line at the shop, so I pulled in there and I called ahead, obviously, to get an appointment because they have that ETA thing now on the TA app. Got that all going. Got there at 11:30. They pulled me in the bay about 11:40. I had to drop my trailer and all that fun stuff. Pulled in there and start doing the truck, checking everything out. Everything's checking out just fine the way it's supposed to. I watch the technicians perform the task on my truck because the ultimate PM on this truck with the oil, the all the filters and all that, it cost it's $386, and I get a gallon of Lucas as well, so it's $400 after taxes and all that. So he goes through it, him and I are just sitting there BSing. There's nothing else to do, I'm overlooking my truck and talking to him, and I walk back inside to go sit in the waiting room, and he comes walking back out. He goes, might want to come take a look at this. I said, okay. He shows me his finger, and his finger is full of milky oil. I'm like, well, the oil that came out of the truck was fine. I mean, yeah, it was black, which is normal. I mean, where the heck was that at? He goes, that was off of your cap and fill tube. I'm like, well. So we walked out there, I looked at it. I said, is there any way that you can pump a couple gallons of oil through the engine to see if we can get any water to come out? He pumped a couple and nothing came out. No water, no nothing. Had me scratching my head. Had the technician scratching his head. Filled the truck up and started it. And as I start it, watching my oil pressure, everything is normal. He waves his hand to come out of the truck. I come out and there's water coming out of the inlet intercooler tube. So I see it, shut the truck down. We start looking at it. It's not antifreeze. It's not oil. So it's not coming from the turbo, it's not coming from the head. It's crystal clear water. I mean, it's crystal clear. It's like this. It's like drinking water. It didn't smell. It wasn't, oily or nothing. It was straight up water. Pulled the tube off, looked down in the tube. You can see where there's been like water like shooting down the tube into the that tube that goes into the block or the head there. Didn't see no runoff marks because of all the soot in the tube that's on the, I don't know the proper terminology for that tube or for that pipe that comes out. There's soot in there, and you can't see where the water. I mean, shoot, that thing gets so damn hot it just evaporates the water as it is. So you pull the intercooler, the boot off the intercooler itself, and you could see where there's water on the intercooler. So I'm like, well, we can start it up. I don't think it's going to do anything because it won't be shooting water down into the inlet. Start it up, and the amount of water that came out of that thing, I got a very short clip of it. It's like 4 seconds long. I'll show it. So that's the little amount. That's like when it was about done puking water out. I mean, I should have taken a picture of the puddle that it left. I mean, it was probably a cup and a half maybe of water that came out. So we start tracing this thing for about an hour and a half, just scratching ideas, throwing ideas out there, what we can check, what we can do. We started looking at the intercooler. Now the AC condenser sits in front of the intercooler, so we couldn't see the full intercooler, but there was very, very small, I wouldn't say cracks, like almost like pinholes kind of, you might want to say. And we just figured the intercooler was bad, because that's the only way that it would be coming from, going into the inlet, because there was none coming out from the turbo into the intercooler. It was only coming out. So we started scratching ideas like, yeah, if it's cracked from all the truck washes, because I try to wash it every Friday or every week, and if I run into salt or bad weather, I try to wash it because I don't like that stuff on my truck. Now granted, I haven't washed it because I'm back up in Iowa currently, delivering back to Clear Lake and going up to Minnesota. But replaced the intercooler, did all that fun stuff. Got fixed, got back on the road, went a mile down the road. Maybe it wasn't even a mile. And the boost boot on the passenger side from the turbo to the intercooler came off. It wasn't tightened properly. So, no big deal. Tightened it up, went down the road, and I was keeping an eye on my gauges, and I noticed my boost gauge was about 42, 43, and I'm like, whoa, that's a little high, I think, because this truck has never been over 35, 38 pounds. Never. So I called Cummins over by the house, talked to Cummins, told him what happened, told him what was going on. He goes, no, that's normal for those engines to build 40, 45 pounds of boost. If it's over 40, 48, 50, he goes, yeah, you got a problem. But he goes, this 45 is normal for these engines. I'm like, well, I must have been having an intercooler problem since I've owned this thing. It happens. So that's where we're at. It's been flipping cold. It was negative 14 in Iowa when the last time I was 3 or 4 days ago when I was up here. It got pretty cold last night. It was warm today. So I checked everything again today. Popped the hood, checked the oil. No signs of water in the oil. I pulled off the oil cap. And this is what I saw. So I'm talking to a couple of friends, very good mechanics, talking to the TA, and the only thing that we're thinking of is my friend told me to check the crankcase filter breather tube. I pulled that off. There's some residue in there, but nothing to clog it, nothing like that, so it's clear. I cleaned it before I put it on, of course. The only thing I can think of is the crankcase filter, and obviously I'm not going to take that off because I don't have a new one with me, so there's no sense to take it off. But that's where we're at with this. We're just hanging out. We got like 20 days until the cruise, so I'm anxious for that. Anxious to go on another cruise. I mean, who wouldn't? But yeah. Other than that, it's been going good. So when I was home, I was gonna do a video of this, but I didn't because I didn't want to sound like an idiot, or because it was my first time doing it. I ended up cleaning the IMAP sensor, the back pressure sensor, and the inlet pressure sensor or something. I forgot the sensor name already, but I ended up cleaning it, and I'm glad I did because I'm talking to another friend. Those sensors won't throw a code if they're bad. You guys can Google them and YouTube search them, and you guys will find out what I was talking about. But the IMAP sensor was clogged. I'm noticing a difference from cleaning those, and plus, $1,000 flipping intercooler. So, but yeah, truck's been running great. I am a little concerned about that water. We're thinking it's condensation, because it's so running the truck. Oil temp 220, 215, 225. Shut the truck down. It cools off at night, and it gets really cold at night. You reheat the truck back up, cool it back off, heat it back up, so it can build condensation. Which, talking to people, it's normal this time of the year. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, of course, but that's all I got for right now. And I want to say welcome all new members. Check out the Facebook page as well. But yeah, hanging out. Hopefully everybody's staying warm, because I know it's cold everywhere in the States. I'll be thinking about you when I'm in the Caribbean. I just got to get there first. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's the new update for first video this year, and we're already a week into the new year. So, yep. Hopefully I can get a couple of loading and unloading before I go on the cruise. And then obviously I'll be doing a cruise video, so that video will be a little bit long for people that want to see the cruise and all that. Anyways, I'm out of here. We unload at 9 o'clock tomorrow in Iowa. Then we got to go up to Minnesota. Then go back down to Kansas to reload. But yeah, doing good. See you guys out here. Be safe. God bless. Stay safe. See you in the next one. And one last thing, I want to give a shout out to that TA and that technician. I greatly appreciated what you did, and actually coming forward and saying something to me, because if you didn't, if you would have just put oil back in it and called it a day, I would have never known about this problem until I had to add oil again, and who knows if there would have been signs of it. So I want to give a big shout out to that TA and the technician for helping me out. They went above and beyond my expectations. They took care of me. They did save me a lot of money. So a big shout out to that TA. I appreciate what you did. Thank you for being honest and coming forward with the problem. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.